This picture is nasty. All this gonna come back to bite him, man. Especially that Certified Lover Boy album. Hell, even the title, The Lover Boy. If y'all know anything about sex trafficking and the lover boy method, that's exactly what Diddy is being accused of right now. Same thing Andrew Tate is being accused of. Everybody going down, bro. All these dudes. Let's keep it going.
Now, as of recently, after decades of being one of the most awful human beings you could ever be, Diddy finally got what has been coming to him for so long, but now as a result of this, as of course due to the nature of the internet, they are trying to see what affiliates of Diddy and which rappers specifically that have been around him over the years could go down as well. And now out of all of the names that have been in conversation, the person that people have been bringing up the most is Drake, as with everything Kendrick Lamar accused him of during their battle, people have been revisiting what Kendrick Lamar said on tracks like Meet the Grams and questioning just how serious what Lamar is alluding to about Drake really may be. With the awful stuff Diddy has been doing coming to light, and even beyond this very well could be people's hindsight bias, but people are now speculating that Kendrick Lamar's new track Watch the Party Die could have been about Diddy also, as the messaging of a lot of that track and everything crashing down on Diddy right now have seemed to align in a way that does have a lot of parallels. But now beyond this, going back to Drake,
Yeah, you're right. In the chat, it's like, it goes back to just we don't want to see another Diddy at all. At all. We don't want to see this archetype at all. We don't want to see this character at all. We don't want to see the energy. We don't, like, the physical will change all the time. The next Diddy won't actually look like Diddy. But we got to be intelligent enough to understand the energy, the patterns, the spirit of the Diddy. If that makes sense. You feel me? Because it's like, hell, even with Drake. I keep comparing Drake to being Elvis. There's going to be another Drake. Same way there's going to be another Elvis. The minstrel show will continue. For sure, man.
beyond just Kendrick's disses, he has been under fire on the internet for a multitude of reasons, as from pictures of him in Puff, to a tweet like this which looking back on could not have aged worse. A lot of people have been trying to take down Drake and throw him down in a way that would truly be the end for him, and making this case against him seem all the more terrible. This video of Drake and Diddy has been getting shared around all over, which I'll just show you here.
I want to talk about studying, talking about the other day. You know, we studied you since Howard days. You know, since those I studied the stories that Spoon used to tell me from Howard days, and just how relentless you were. You know what I'm saying? And to hear that from you, you know that there's nobody else that can tell me that where it means more, because you've seen it all, done it all. You know what I'm saying? And now all my brothers behind me, we're trying to do the same thing, following your footsteps. You know, every night we're out here pounding the pavement, doing what we can do, and we all take care of each other. So it's like you pass.
But Drake loves to love bomb, bro. He loves to glaze, dog. He knows what, man. He don't really love these people, man. He sees everybody as competition. Man, these dudes be lying, man. Look at Diddy. Look at his eyes. Dude look dead inside, man. His eyes are brown. He got the Michael Jordan eyes. It's crazy.
Passing the traditions and the hustle onto us. We appreciate it, man. For real. For real.
Yeah, no doubt.
And again, very similar to the tweet that we just looked at, and knowing what we do now, this just seems completely awful, but now again with added context. This clip that went down between them that's been spreading around and making Drake look awful is missing its original context, which featured them talking about music and business. But despite this, and I should say here that I'm not talking about this for the drama aspect like many other people are, but about how this affects the very culture of hip-hop and the biggest artists in it, because at the end of the day, things like this are directly ingrained in the music and will affect the future of how these artists move forward. And now at this point, in terms of where rap and
Exactly, especially when they keep talking about the parties and the pills and the drinking, and like they gotta change the way they speak about women now. The way they speak about relationships. It's like, bro, the spotlight and the microscope is on you now. So if you're still speaking about women the exact same way, like having a bunch of like 40, 50 women in your like, we understand you're not that cool. You're not that smooth. You have no choice but to pay these people in order to have these parties. To have sex with these people, you have to pay them. That is called sex trafficking. They are sex workers. Academics already exposed you, Drake. We're going to get to it in a second, but yeah, let's keep it going, man.
His premier artists are at. It should be no surprise that the past few months have been an absolute disaster class for Drake and that his career has been sinking to new lows with everything that he has done. And now with this situation, as we are in an era of culture and discourse where anytime a single domino falls, which in this case has been Diddy and the disgusting empire that he has been trying to deceive the public about for decades, everyone is trying to spot what else is connected to this and who may be next, and now in this time. Despite rappers and hip-hop figures like Rick Ross, DJ Khaled, and many others having way closer ties with Diddy that really may seem alarming, Drake is the one getting all the heat from this, and the reason why everyone is not letting up on him is because from what we do know that is out there, and again, bringing things back to Kendrick Lamar.
It ain't just, well, Drake too, but I remember that the videos with Kevin Hart, Trey Songz. Yeah, y'all remember those videos, bro? Hey, all of them sexual deviants, bro.
Why his diss is stuck and worked so well in his favor against
Hell, Joe Budden, all of them, yeah.
Drake was because everything he said was rooted in some sort of logic that we have seen, because from his controversy on stage in 2009 to his strange friendship with Millie Bobby Brown to many other things, Drake has shown himself to be a strange guy that does strange things that if any other men did, they would be ridiculed for. But now with all of this said, in this moment where Drake can't seem to escape the heat and it seems like every major controversy, which of course has led to now, he was of course going to get thrown into this conversation and questioned. But at the end of the day, if having people think so low of you that they are comparing and trying to find any trace to you and Diddy is not enough evidence to look in the mirror and see what Kendrick Lamar has said about you and think about how to shake these claims, I don't know what will be, because all in all, to the larger public, they have never thought lower of Drake than right now, as people are literally saying that he is next up to be right in line with what Diddy is doing. And again, I'm not saying that Drake is anywhere near the level of a horrible person that Diddy is, because to put somebody anywhere near him with only the evidence we know would just be blasphemous. But what I am saying is that for Drake, this really needs to be the last straw, and it is time for him to grow up, because if he keeps moving around the way he does as a single, almost 40-year-old man who was always partying and hanging around with girls half of his age, he's only going to look more creepy and have more of these allegations following him going forward in his career, because as the quality of the music is no longer there, and Drake is only really being talked about right now as a joke and a creep, as Kendrick's disses continue to make a stronger and stronger impact and therefore a tighter and tighter label on his name. Drake really needs to use this moment as a chance to rethink how to move forward in his career from the ground up, and at this point, it seems like things are getting worse for Drake, not because of his reputation or because of any of these allegations that people are making against him are true necessarily. But now, due to all of this, even his biggest fans, supporters, and in some instances, media personalities who have literally direct relationships with him, like DJ Academics, are realizing how Drake's lifestyle and the way he represents his name is only going to end up putting him.
Exactly. Now, Drake has to have a major brand shift. He can't even make the same type of music anymore. But I truly don't believe he has the awareness. Because if he did, he would not be putting out the music that he's putting out right now. Even after the PDF file allegations, he's still making the exact same caliber of music. He immediately made that song with Sexy Red, trying to flip BBL Drizzy into something cool. Oh, man, it's going to end up bad for Drake. His arrogance. His pride, man. Pride. That's going to be his downfall, bro. For sure. Even Academics tried to tell him. He tried to warn him, but hey, Academics, he on that side too. He got a few cases too, so I ain't going to worry about it.
In even hotter water than ever eventually. And now when it comes to this, I never thought I would say this, but I think DJ Academics really puts the nail on the head best about this entire situation is when talking about how all of this scandal is pouring back on Drake. He explains why this is such a big problem and will only get worse, as he says.
Drake needs to learn from Diddy and Jay, because Drake is like 38 now. And you know when Kendrick says watch the party die, you got to stop the party after a while. Like if you don't stop the party and keep it till 50, you see where Diddy's at. At some point, we ain't saying get married and have kids, but just exit stage left. I'm gonna catch you later. Okay.
And now with Ak really putting this connection together by using Kendrick's new song in terms of the general sentiment of letting the party die and growing up, I think this says a lot in terms of how even Drake's biggest supporters are realizing that if they are ever going to keep supporting him and defending him within this moment in time, there is going to need to be some sort of progression in terms of the way he conducts himself, because honestly, even for how much he is in the hole as we have seen over the past few months, the fact that Drake's been one of the only guys getting flack in this conspiracy for being in photos with him and being in tweets. Meanwhile, almost every single other rapper you can think of has been seen with him out in public at least once. And now I'm not saying that to try and claim that this is a conspiracy that everyone in and around hip hop is involved with, because I don't think that. Because with someone like Kendrick Lamar, for example, while he has been in pictures with him, these all seem to be at industry events and places where seeing him was inescapable. And as this awful human clearly forced himself into the center of every industry event where he would always be face to face with the biggest rappers. Looking at photos of him with anyone.
Yeah, that's not a big thing to me. Being in a picture with somebody does not mean anything to me. I'm not a child to be like, oh my gosh, you in a picture, you must be involved. Nah, that's not how things work, bro. That's like, yeah, that's just too simple of a mindset. But at the same time, if you are one of those guys who actively hang around Diddy, like you're like like I said, one of those Kevin Hart guys, it's like, bro, like Usher, like y'all got to speak up, bro. Y'all got to say something. Kevin Hart, he loves promotion. He loves being on social media. He's been so quiet. All these guys have said something about Lil Wayne and the Super Bowl. Hell, I was about to say Lil Boosie ain't say nothing, but Lil Boosie, he was on Diddy's side. Dumbass dude. That's a dumbass little boy.
Anyone for that matter, and trying to spin a narrative out of that is just taking so many leaps in logic if that is your only base of evidence. But now knowing all of this and going back to Drake, seeing how he has been the target of this situation just shows how the conversation is changing for the worst around him, not just as a rapper, but as a human on the most serious level. But it's because at the end of the day, this narrative that Drake has been projecting and not seeming to care about how others may perceive has created a basis and a frame of character.
This picture is nasty. All this shit gonna come back to bite him, man. Especially that Certified Lover Boy album. Hell, even the title, The Lover Boy. If y'all know anything about sex trafficking and the lover boy method, that's exactly what Diddy is being accused of right now. Like, man, it's about same thing Andrew Tate is being accused of. Everybody going down, bro. All these dudes.
Character that between it and the claims surrounding it, that now people are running with these narratives about Drake, and I mean for any person and especially one of Drake's magnitude. With everybody he has online and with how much he is on social media himself, we do know that he is tapped in on some sort of level, so maybe we will see some response from him, or now that it seems like he's beefing with Jay-Z and of course still has tension with Kendrick Lamar, at the very least he can try to spin this heat he is getting onto them, although I don't know if that would really work. But overall, at the end of the day, we can learn from this entire situation, and what I am sure what we will learn as all of Diddy's downfall is cemented and other rappers are questioned and tried who have been around him throughout any time in their lives or careers, is that at this point in hip-hop, for all rappers, and especially ones who were past the earlier stages of their careers, how you age and represent that to others is more important than ever, because I think after everything that's went down recently, even if you're somebody like Drake, whose reputation and armor has been slightly shattered, which at the end of the day is mainly because of his own doing, situations like these are only going to destroy your career faster, and the longer Drake stays doing the things that Kendrick Lamar rapped about on Meet the Grams, he is only going to be seen as a more
But you can't give Drake that benefit of the doubt because he's literally best friends with a sex trafficker. You feel me? It's like Baca is sitting right next to you. It was a celebration when he came home, remember? Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Drake refuses to answer this question. He's on Instagram talking about everything else, but he refuses to answer this question. Why do you have a sex trafficker on payroll? Man, come on, bro. That's unexcusable.
Disgusting figure in the eyes of many, regardless of what the truth is. So now with all this said, let me know, what do you think of this entire situation?
Hey, shout out Fantastic Hip Hop, man. And I'll see y'all in the chat.